Morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, America. Um, Maria suggested today that maybe I could talk a little bit about my um, visit to Poland this year, actually last year in November, and what that experience was like. Um, and so Auschwitz-Birkenau is a very big subject, um, in as much as pretty much a whole lot of people in the world know what happened in that camp in terms of almost 2.5, 3 million people being put in the ovens. Um, and so at different times we could really drill down in that experience because I've been there now. I think this is my seventh or eighth time that I've been to Poland. But this time around I went because, among other things, um, my teacher, Bernie Glassman, was giving recognition to four of us. Um, and the recognition is one that you get after many, many years of studying with your teacher. And it sort of goes back perhaps, 1500, 1700 years to Japan when an abbot had served his community as a Zen teacher for many years, and then his teacher, as a final recognition, gave him the title of honorable old person, honorable old man, because there were no women at that point ordained in those lineages. So that's what it was, and so it was a very special time. And so Noemi and I were going to go, and what made it special, I believe, for me, aside from the recognition, which is important, is that my grandson, Daniel Pope, my 16-year-old grandson, decided that he wanted to go to Poland with Grandpa, and I wasn't sure that was the right thing to do for a 16-year-old, but he's a very special 16-year-old. And so Noemi and I, after some discussion, decided yes, and his parents decided yes, and his school decided to give him permission to leave school to go to Poland. And that was very special because living with Daniel for those many days in which we all slept in the same room in the different hotels that we went to, and in Poland where we stayed in different accommodations at the Dialogue House, I got to know him and he got to know us. And I believe that he really had a unique experience in Poland, which he has in many ways talked about how it was an experience that he'll never forget, number one, and number two, that it has made a difference as to how he views the world. And if that is all true, then I think that trip was worth more than I can put a thought or a value on. We talk about often that when you go to Auschwitz, a lot of people think that we're going there to experience the horrors that happened there. And that's true, we do that to some degree. But mainly what we do at Auschwitz-Birkenau is allow the camp, the place, the energy to become our teacher. And I think that Daniel expressed that in many ways, but he expressed it mostly by saying that the experience was so large that it would take many years for him to really articulate all the feelings, all the emotions that that he witnessed in himself and others. So that was a good trip. that was a good trip. And at some point, you know, we'll talk more about Auschwitz-Birkenau, because Auschwitz-Birkenau is the main place in our practice for the Zen Peacemakers International to go every year in November. This will be the 27th year this coming year that we go there. And it is a place where we experience the manifestations of our three tenets, which are not knowing, being open to whatever occurs in life, bearing witness, meaning being present to the pain and the joy of the world. And then the third aspect of this first two is to take action, and the action is based on the first two. So not knowing, bearing witness, action. We used to say loving action, but we've begun to less qualify it and just say action. And I think that that's the more important thing, that we learn how to do that on a day-to-day basis, or at least we learn, we aspire to be able to do that on a day-to-day basis. So that's all for today. Thank you. Be well. Be blessed.